I've come down to Heathrow Airport as part of the Lighten Up campaign to meet trade unionists. Introduce yourself and tell us about the campaign.
Yes, good morning. My name's Colin Terry. I'm the Heathrow Liaison Committee Campaigns Communication Officer, and we're here today to launch our national campaign, Lighten the Load, which is aimed at reducing manual handling injuries in aviation, not just with baggage handlers, but you'll see around us today we have cab drivers, coach drivers, that all have a knock-on effect from the suitcases and baggage that arrive at our airports on a daily basis. The reason we've got the campaign is currently in aviation you're 5 times more likely to suffer a manual handling injury than any other industry in the country. And we believe it's time that we address that issue, and part of the way we can address that is to reduce passengers' baggage to 23 kilos. We feel this will have an immediate impact on manual handling injuries in aviation. Unfortunately, we have a bit of an impasse on the introduction of 23 kilos. We have a number of employers that support the campaign, which are generally made up of ground handlers. We normally foot the cost of any personal injury claims or sickness or overtime to cover sickness through injuries to their baggage handlers. Unfortunately, the airlines, who have washed the responsibility, their safety responsibility, who now don't have their own ground handling, do not want the 23 kilo limit in. They unfortunately earn a great deal of money from the excess baggage on the suitcase and the luggage that comes through our airports, not just Heathrow but airports up and down the country. And so the reason we've asked you along today, John, is to lend your support, and we thank you for coming along today to lend that support, to help us have an impact in the day-to-day lives of our members of the United Union, not just at Heathrow Airport but up and down the country. And we're hoping to do a lobby of Parliament in the new year. We've got a number of MPs at airports, Labour MPs up and down the country, and we hope that if we can get this 23 kilos, it's not that we hope, we know we can have an impact on the 23 kilos and manual handling injuries across the industry.
Many of my constituents work at Heathrow, and I've seen some of the injuries that have occurred as a result, well, back injuries in particular, as a result of handling heavy goods, heavy suitcases. So what we're asking for now, especially what customers can help us voluntarily by using the 23 kilo limit themselves, but we need action from government and the health and safety executive, don't we?
That's correct. Part of our launch today in the terminals is try to educate the flying public. You know, obviously they can help us by packing less and lighten the load to 23 kilos. But yes, the main thrust of our campaign is that we need the HSE to enforce a 23 kilo limit across aviation in the UK, and to bring those employers that are not prepared to endorse the change to force that change, and that would have the impact.
We'll be lobbying Parliament in the new year. In the meantime, what do we want people to do? Write to their MP, contact the government? What would you like them to do? We
would like them to do all of that. We've been in contact with the HSE and the DFT, and as I said to you before you arrived today, excuse the tannoy, they're destroying baggage at the terminal but not lightening the baggage to 23 kilos. Yeah, we need the government and the HSE to act. It's the only way really that we can see any change, and what we'd like and what we're advising our members to do is to not only write to their local MPs, but we're looking at a series of measures where we're going to put some pressure on the government and DFT to make sure that we have this change, and the lobby is one of those steps on that campaign.
Unite have led the lobby. Colin, thanks for what you're doing to protect, well, the health and safety of my constituents, but also it's also about the passengers themselves. Carrying heavy weights for themselves isn't good for them. So if we can get legislation through which reduces the limit to 23 kilograms, it's good for all of us, both passengers and workers. Thanks for all the unions doing at the airport.